Well, the festive season has been dubbed the silly season, which will see many South Africans celebrating the end of the year and their achievements. But if there's one thing not to be silly about, it's road safety. With the ever-increasing accident rate during this time of the year, road safety and accident tips are conversation topics that have to be on the nation's mind. Well, here with us to have a conversation is ER24 spokesperson Russell Mayring. Russell, so nice to have you in studio and welcome to Morning Live.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, this is it's a tough time for everybody, for families, for friends that lose loved ones, for this reckless driving that we see on our roads, but also for workers like yourself in ER24. When we talk about road accidents, what is the biggest cause at this point?
I suppose especially during the festive season, everyone's excited to get to their holidays. So you have your common ones, which is speeding, which always happens, your sleeping and fatigue on the roads especially, because people are trying to get to their holiday destinations, driving late at night, and you're usually driving under the influence, which is quite a big one as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of advice out there of what you should do, and I mean, you talk about fatigue. Should we be stopping like every 2 hours just to rest and almost refuel ourselves, not necessarily the vehicle?
Absolutely. It is recommended that we stop every 200 kilometers or 2 hours.
Okay.
You may not necessarily feel fatigue setting in, and it just takes a couple of seconds. I think they call it a micro sleep, where you're sitting behind the wheel, it's a long stretch of road, and you start dozing off, and that's when it can happen.
What are the road stats looking like at the moment?
Well, I know they're quite high at the moment. ER24 has especially dealt with a good couple of hundred incidents this December alone, and a lot of them are involving fatalities. One recently was at least 10 were killed this past weekend.
Yeah. I mean, it's horrific when you look at the numbers. I mean, our sort of weekend stats can equate to other countries' entire annual stats of people that have passed away on our roads. What is it about the festive season that people become just so much more reckless?
I think, as you said, it's the silly season now. So everyone now takes sort of a relaxed feel to it and thinks, oh, you know what, I don't have to obey the rules of the road as well as I should. No one's going to stop me. I can speed. Let's start drinking a little early. And that's when these problems start setting in.
Yeah.
So thankfully the metro services have been doing a fantastic job on all of their roadblocks, just trying to keep people in check, but it doesn't always happen.
Okay, so the reality is that accidents do happen at this time, but sometimes people are not equipped. And when I mean equipped, it's, you will arrive on the scene, you don't know if the person has medical aid, you don't know, much about them. What should we do to prepare ourselves for the eventuality of an accident?
Well, when we arrive to an accident, it doesn't necessarily matter whether medical aid or not. We are still going to treat you and transport you to the nearest appropriate facility. For yourself being in an accident or witnessing an accident, the first thing that you need to do is make sure that you are in a safe situation where you are not going to cause any problems, or you are not yourself going to be in an accident or secondary collision, which is quite common, where people will stop, they've seen a collision, and especially late at night, second, third collision happens after that. So make sure that you are in a safe situation and immediately call help. All right. As usual, best number 084124. We are a national service. From there, that's when you can start helping the patients on scene. It is always recommended that you have some sort of first aid kit in the car, especially if you have kids, or you're going down to a holiday destination. You don't know where the hospitals or pharmacies, so keep a first aid kit in the car.
What should we keep in there?
A lot of the pharmacies sell a generic first aid kit, which is fantastic. Definitely gloves. We always push, do not touch any patient without gloves. All right. Then some of your basic bandages, splints, slings, things like that. That can render some basic first aid to that patient in the motor vehicle collision.
We talk about a motor vehicle collision, but there's so much more that happens at this time of the year. I know that it's quite infamous, and I'm not necessarily just saying in this particular area of Johannesburg and some areas like Hillbrow, but it happens all over the country. And you see some horrific incidents as well that happen there. Too much drinking, violence. These are other issues that you have to deal with.
Absolutely. I would love to say it's only one thing, but it seems to be a whole collection of things. Your drinking and driving, your assaults, and unfortunately suicide is quite high in December as well. So there's quite a few things that generally add up to the large total.
Yeah. How many of you are working over this time? I mean, this is, I suppose, one of your busiest times. Nobody's really on holiday, are they?
I'd love to say we're all going on leave, but no one knows of that fruit or vegetable yet.
Yeah.
A lot of us are working. We do have a shift system where people can be replaced. We work a certain amount of hours and we say, okay, fantastic, once we've reached that, we put on. But you can't stop emergency services and say, okay, fantastic,
Never.
Everyone's going on leave.
We're going to have our Christmas dinner now. Just please, everybody behave. It's not going to happen, ever.
Well, listen,
we want to thank you so much for the work that you're doing, because you guys are all fantastic. And really, I must say, it's a pleasure to know that if you pick up the phone, there is somebody that can help you. So thank you for talking to us. And please send our thanks to all of the guys out there and the girls that do this work for us.
We will definitely do so.
Okay, so Russell Mehring is the spokesperson for ER24, and that really is the time of the year where we talk road safety and what to do in the case of an accident. Make sure that you have the necessary precautions before driving this festive season. You do not want to be a victim of one of these vehicle accidents you're seeing on the screen at the moment. It's devastating.